In typical Universal Orlando fashion, an hour after we posted episode 395, Universal updated the park closure. So we discussed that and Halloween Horror Nights spec map. You are listening to show number 397, the 9th anniversary episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Chris from UUOP, ready to give you the latest and greatest information from our favorite park in the world, Universal Studios Florida. Now, to help me with that, I got my co-host. I got Lee Exotic.
Hello, everyone. I have not got that mustache.
Tracy. I haven't killed my husband, but it's definitely an option basket.
Oh, it is. Hello, everyone.
Doc Darren.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to invite the internet to join my harem. Thank you.
And we have a guest zookeeper from the Producers Club, Jillian.
What's internet? Oh, no.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, I know. I'm drinking. That's how good things are going.
Woo!
Haven't killed anybody, so I
Yet.
should get a gold star for that.
Yet, I will stress.
The option is there.
I will stress
Absolutely,
the word.
I have sardine oil.
Yet.
Everyone knows cats like sardine oil, not cologne. Gosh.
We haven't got any cats though, so
That you know of.
I do know because I'd be anyway.
Well, let's get back on track.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you, Chris.
Yes. Tracy, hit us off with some birthdays.
I will indeed. We have, I assume, only 4.
Look,
There could be more. Who knows at this point? You all know it goes. So the 4 that
Is
we
it
do
anybody
have...
here's birthday? Let's just do that first.
That's a good idea. Put your hand up if it's your birthday.
Okay, no, okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Right. So we are going to start with the lovely Kevin Barry's birthday. That is the 11th of April. Happy birthday!
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then the day after, the 12th of April, it is the lovely Todd Ellsworth's birthday. Happy birthday, Brocat.
Happy Brocat.
There's a cat.
Happy birthday.
boy.
And then the 19th of April, it is the lovely Jacqueline Colpitt's birthday. Happy birthday.
Woohoo, listening live. Happy birthday,
Happy
Jacqueline.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then finally, the following day, on the 20th of April, it's Jodie Griswold's birthday. She's lovely too. Happy birthday.
She's also listening. Happy birthday.
Feliz
Happy
cumpleaños.
Birthday. So if it's anybody else's birthday, let me know before we finish the live and I can
Batterman.
batter Lee and paint him in sardine oil and wish you a happy birthday.
Awesome. So let's talk about terrible news right now. Resort closure has been extended.
Not a surprise.
So like we mentioned earlier, an hour after we posted episode 395, Universal announced an extension to the closure of Universal Orlando Resort. So they updated the info with some details for pass holders as well. And basically, the gist of it is we have extended the temporary closure of Universal Orlando through April 19th, 2020. We will continue to monitor the situation and make adjustments as needed, and we'll keep you posted. Now, all the passes will be extended by the number of days we are closed. All existing pass benefits, blockout dates, and other restrictions still apply. And if you are signed up with FlexPay, we have postponed all monthly payments effective March 25th, and we will provide more details at a later date about when payments will resume. And please visit universalorlando.com for the latest resort-wide updates. So what do y'all think? April 19th, fake
No.
date?
But they're still
Yes.
sticking by it. Disney and everyone else has said indefinitely. If you go, I've been visiting the Universal website a lot over the last week, working on stuff for the blog and that banner at the top still states April 19th. They have not changed it. They have not backed down on it. They've put no, even like anything remotely like they are going to change that date.
Does this mean
Oh,
that they
they
have
are.
bookings in their hotels then?
It's the oddest thing, though, because the state of Florida is under a stay-at-home until the end of April.
Yeah. So it's not going to happen.
They'll announce it in an hour. As soon as
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It'll be 8:30 UK time tomorrow night.
Yeah. I can't see them being open.
No.
It's
Yeah.
Well, just purely like they
To
said.
be honest, it doesn't bother me very much. I'm kind of hoping it works in my favor. My current pass is only through July, I believe. And if the passes are going to be extended, then I might be able to get my pass extended
Yeah.
to my next trip.
Mm-hmm.
So not terribly upset about it right now.
No.
It didn't come as a surprise at the end of the day. That was the thing.
Yeah.
No. I mean, now it's just a guessing game of when the next extension is going to be out till.
Yeah.
We can say with certainty that it's going to be at least till the end of April. Now, the question is, how far into May are we looking into as well? Because I don't even see it opening up at the end of April.
No, I don't honestly either. And
No.
yeah, I if it does, it turns out to be a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If things carry on the way they're going, I don't see it being open in May at all.
Yeah, kind of with you on that, unfortunately.
I know they're a business, but they've got to be socially responsible. This literally is people's lives, so all the parks have got to do this.
Not just that, but I mean, it's also a theme park with tiny corridors with many people on the side of them. I mean, it's ground zero for spreading something if something were to spread.
That's a real people are stupid. And they'll see that the parks are open. The parks are a safe place. That's how people view them. So they'll see the parks are open and think it's okay to go. Get complacent, won't wash their hands, won't protect themselves. Just don't go near people for a long time, other people.
The interesting thing is, even at this point, if they did open it at the end of April, who would go?
That's my question.
There will be people going.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed. Yes.
A much younger demographic.
Yeah.
I won't.
The ones who are indestructible.
But yeah.
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 You heard it here first. COVID-19 started in Forbidden Journey's locker room.
UUOP does not condone Gillian Dunn's response. That is not true. Just in case we get legal.
I thought it was funny. Todd said he'd go.
I don't know. It's such a weird
I wouldn't.
thing.
I'll be honest. I'm concerned about flying in October if that still happens for us.
It is still happening. I will not
Because
accept it's not happening yet.
That's a
Better
long
buy your
flight with
hazmat
other
suit, buddy.
people's. Yeah.
I will. If that's what it takes, I don't care.
Yeah.
A long flight with other people's farts and breath.
Yeah. The only way I see any kind of opening happening is going to be like they're gonna have to have like extensive measures in place. It's going to be I don't even know how you do it logistically.
No.
Like wipe down. You're obviously going to have to wipe down the rides, every seat after every person sits there. That's the first and foremost thing. Obvious. You're going to have to reduce capacity by half.
Or more.
At least.
Todd's
Yes.
just said, if you have it and got over it, you can't get it again.
Is that
Which
true?
again, there isn't any proof of it. However, you can still be a carrier, so you can still pass it on.
Yeah, I will say that we don't know anything about it.
It's all just
We don't
Yeah.
know enough
just be very
about
cautious.
that at all to
No.
make any of those kind of decisions.
No.
Like as far as that goes, and the safest thing is to just, like everybody said, stay home, stay safe.
Yeah.
Even that aside, I mean, going back to what I said earlier about the queues, right? The queues that you're in are very small, very narrow.
Yeah.
How many times have you guys been in a queue and some dude starts yakking, coughing up all over the place?
Yep.
Your people are going to be terrified to walk through that. I mean,
The
I am,
kids-
even when this wasn't happening, I'm like, I don't want to get sick.
No. And also, aircon's not going to be a friend at this point.
No.
Mm-hmm. There's that famous gif of the little girl like just licking in the railing from one side to the other. Yeah.
She was
thanks,
hungry,
Darren. I
bless her.
think I need to tap out now. Oh,
Well, I told you guys yesterday when we were talking that I saw two.
Oh, don't! No, take my headphones out. Not when you're done. I can't do that again.
I love how she takes her headphones out and we're in the same room. I saw two guys, one in the bathrooms at the entrance to the park, like just round the corner from the Today Cafe, and a guy in MCO bend over and empty his nose into the sink.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm not
Little
a
snot
germaphobe,
rocket.
but I was like, really? Really?
I've become such a master of the neti pot that I no longer need the neti pot.
I have become a neti pot.
Yes, I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh my god, I do not
Oh.
ever want to hear that.
Oh, it was
again.
disgusting.
Sorry, I'm
Well,
back
on the
now.
last day of our meetup,
Gross.
as soon as Nina and I walked into the park, and this was our concerns were already starting, but we were still there, obviously. But as we walked into the park, a little kid, like right by the taxi at the entrance of Universal Studios Florida, just like in the middle of the street, just went "Bwah," and just threw up right on the
lovely.
floor there.
Yeah,
And it was like,
Kids do
oh
that.
yeah, this is how the apocalypse movies start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be, it's a conversation. I said to you guys yesterday, it's a conversation I want to have at some point of what do the parks look like when this is all removed and we get back to semi-normal. I don't have it yet because I'm trying to be normal. As positive as possible. But I think it's a very interesting conversation to think what a major theme park looks like after an event like this.
Yeah, virtual queues, I'm sure, will be a big thing. We've already seen the possibility of expansion of those at Magic Kingdom, like and Hollywood Studios. They popped up on their app here and there with all of a sudden like boarding passes available, but for all attractions, not just that one. On days that they've been closed. So I think you're going to see them kind of go that route on top of a ton of other measures they're going to have to do. And I just don't know when it's safe and when everybody feels like okay enough to do that.
I mean, like you said, Darren, you look the logistics of that, just the logistics of when they introduced metal detectors at the hub. Like, look at how much hassle that caused at the beginning of the day without adding something in like this.
Yeah, but people have got used to it.
They have, and it moves relatively smoothly, but that's, compared to something like this, is a drop in the ocean.
That's because of other people's stupidity that we have to have that. So if we have to have where there's mandatory hand washing stations or there's hand sanitizer stations dotted around the parks and you have to stick your hands under them. Because I was impressed with Universal when we were there. I pointed it out. There was Purell things everywhere. And I use them anywhere.
You're judging everyone else's by your standards. And
I'm a germaphobe, so nobody's ever going to be.
Same here, Tracy. Yeah, I think we spoke about this yesterday a little bit, where I think there's going to be the new norm, right?
Yep.
A temporary norm until, for this crisis that we're dealing with right now, right? A vaccine comes out, and that still takes time to develop, produce, and get around to everybody. Obviously, things will go back to, a more normal that we're used to. But until that point has happened, there's going to be this temporary new norm. And it'll be very interesting to see what the parks do. Because, I mean, just putting a Purell cart every 6 feet, that's not going to do it. That won't take care of this.
No.
So...
Well, I seem to remember, I think it was on the last Little Things that Seth said that his last visit to the park, he looked around and there were like Purell stations all around and every single one of them was empty.
Yeah.
So people are using them, but then when you get to that point they're empty, it's like, what do you do?
Do you know what it should be things like you shouldn't be allowed to enter a restaurant without using, so there'll be somebody on the door, you have to use it. Things like that would have to be in place.
It's like the washy-washies on cruise ships.
Oh, love washy-washy.
I have no idea what that is.
The people positioned outside of like the dining room with hand sanitizer, they say washy-washy, happy, happy. And they give you a hand sanitizer and you have to sanitize.
You haven't seen any of the gifts?
It's amazing. Like they literally, I'll send you a video. I took one last time I was on a cruise. Like two guys on a guitar just doing cover songs, but singing about washing your hands.
Excellent.
Do like our face masks required now? Like from this point on, like at least like a cloth covering or something?
I think they're going to be,
No.
I think.
I can't imagine because this is a isolated incident. I mean, nothing has happened to this scale and how long. I don't think people are going to anticipate that something like this magnitude, it was going to happen again. You can't live as if something might happen forever.
Well, I think we'll see a lot more people wearing face masks.
True.
Yeah, I think like Asia, it'll be a lot more common for that to happen. I mean, especially with like just recently, our CDC finally making a recommendation for it, at least if you're out in public.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just of course, your cloth mask isn't going to protect you from anything. It's to hold your spit in. So touch it on the railing at Universal. Thanks.
Yes.
I was talking to you about it earlier, wasn't I? Because it was like they're not effective. However, if you are near somebody who sneezes, it's not going to go in your mouth or on your face because you wear a mask, so you're slightly more protected.
Yeah, it doesn't protect against the virus, but it's going to
protect you and give you a little bit of protection.
People splattering in your face.
Yeah, if you're both doing it, then that's even better.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Better than nothing.
Imagine wearing a mask in the Florida heat.
They will come up with some mask innovation very quickly. And branding, of course. You're going to be able to get your Harry Potter ones.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I'll get my Back to the Future.
Darren, stop giving them ideas.
Lee,
35th anniversary one before the end of the year, if they can do that.
I want a Bane mask.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. With the voice changer. All the Transformer ones. All the possibilities.
Yeah.
Good job, Rick.
You want to see Stuart Mallett's face mask? It's awesome. Wrong park, though. Sorry. It's awesome, Stu.
Perhaps you were wondering why you would shoot a man before making him ride Fast and Furious.
Now we also have to be a little concerned about another event that comes later on this year. Jillian, got some info on that?
I do. This closure has caused many Universal Orlando fans to worry about the state of Halloween Horror Nights 30. We have heard construction is going ahead as planned, and on Twitter, at HHN Dog, D-A-W-G, posted their concern that the event may not even go ahead at all, which prompted this reply from Patrick Braylard. Quote, "We are working remotely, yes. Physically distant, yeah. But working and creating nightmares nonetheless. Hashtag HHN30 is still powering forward, and until we hear otherwise, that is exactly what we will continue to do. We are hungry to present what we have in store."
Okay, do I get it out now?
No,
or
Darren, save
will we
it.
talk
We're
about
trying
the
to be
spec now?
positive.
Okay.
I don't think we get it out at all until we have to.
It's not
All
that
right,
sort of
let's
My
show, is
leave
fingers-
it?
fantasy for now.
My fingers are still firmly crossed at this point, so please don't kill me. I am still very firmly hopeful that Halloween Horror Nights will go ahead in some capacity. What that capacity is, I do not know.
Okay, am I allowed to
has
talk
to.
about that at least?
Okay, go on then.
Okay, so a lot of things will have to change if Halloween Horror Nights were to go forward as it is. Number one, the hallways need to be widened. You're not going to have the tight, enclosed, cramped spaces because that's just bad business right now at this point, just months after this happens. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you're going to see huge set pieces, something like that, to that capacity. They only have 2 sound stages cleared out and ready to go for Horror Nights this year. So that's one thing. The other thing is what has been called SIF.
Yes.
Before in the past is a thing of history.
Yeah,
I
I
can
heard
already
that.
tell you that's guaranteed from sources connected to creative. Like
Yeah.
that was the first thing that was just the obvious.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What is SIF? What is that?
In face.
Yes. But yeah, that so they're not going to do that. The transitions between rooms, I don't think you're going to have to be like touching like the plastic flap
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
things that they've done in the past. Just a lot of things would have to change in order for it to go through, is what I'm saying.
They just give everyone rubber gloves before they go in the event. Just make everybody wear rubber gloves. A condition that if you come to the event, you wear rubber gloves. There are ways round.
That works until you cough one
Yeah,
time.
the thing is, like, rubber gloves don't do a single thing for this, right? It's not that your fingers are letting go of a virus. It's your mouth.
No, but you're not touching things then and then transferring it to your mouth.
Well, some people are
Yes,
still
I'm
stupid.
touching them with
and
the rubber glove and then
people still
touching my
touch the
mouth with the
faces
rubber
and
No,
glove.
fair enough, yeah.
I think pulsing will have to be a big thing.
So that's all I'm saying. And then also Patrick Bellier's on the creative team, and the creative team, they're not going to come out and be like, no, we don't know what's going on for sure or not. Like that's not their job.
But the
Their
other
job's to
thing,
keep working until somebody tells them otherwise.
Exactly.
here's the other thing,
Yeah.
Darren, like, and your opinion on this, right, is these events are huge, right? They take
Yes, sir.
a lot of planning. This isn't something that they're going to just cancel a month before,
No.
right? And they're going to cancel this way in advance before they're too deep into it that they have to be like, oh, we lost a bunch of money creating this and we can't do anything. So do you foresee this being something like they have to make an executive decision quite a few months in advance, meaning sometime soon?
In the normal world, yes, but we don't live in a normal world anymore. This is an unprecedented event, and I don't think things are going to be done the same way that they were in the past. And you also have to remember too that Universal has a big crutch that other companies in this industry don't have right now, and that's Comcast. That is a telecom company who the world is relying on right now still.
Yes.
To stay afloat, basically. So they have a nice big crutch there in the fact that if they did have to cut their losses like all the way up to, I don't know, like you said, maybe like a month or two ahead of time, I could see them possibly doing it.
Could they just push it back?
Horror Nights and Christmas time. Woo!
It
Oh,
could,
yeah.
but
Christmas
then
Horror
that
Nights.
pushes into Christmas, which I don't know if they would want to do that.
No.
I mean, if you think about that too, your options now. Do you if you have to cut one of the two events, do you cut your Happy Christmas Fun Time event, or
No.
do you cut the like horror event that
I'll
during
tell
the
you
time
what
that
it is. They're going to cut Christmas because Horror Nights is their
No, they
biggest
won't.
moneymaker.
They're money makers.
They're not. It's not going to be a money concern.
No.
It's really not going to be a money
I agree
concern.
with
And if they do, they're going to end up tanking big time. And if they do end up in the face of public safety, having an event where it is clearly and patently not safe to do so, then yeah, that'll be the last show I record for them. I mean, honestly, you got to be smart and safe about it. And I know you're going to lose. Companies are losing a ton of money right now, everywhere. It's a crazy, weird time. I'm not trying to be like a downer about everything. I'm just
You're being a
trying to be
realist.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to be realistic. And I want them to, again, make sure everybody's safe ahead of time. And if they can assure that, if they can come up with assurances to make that happen and come up with precautions and guidelines to lessen the risk for people, then yeah, I'm for it. But I don't see how that happens yet.
Yeah.
No.
But
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to have a conversation to see what a scaled back Horror Nights would look like. Not now, but at some point. They go, right, the event's going ahead, but it's not going to be what it normally is. What does a scaled back Halloween Horror Nights look like? How do we do Halloween Horror Nights knowing people's concerns of what's going on and what's been going on? I think that could be a really interesting conversation for something that's normally...
So everybody go
popular.
out and buy Oculus Rift, and then they do a repository of the entire Horror Nights event. Boom. Done.
Hey, I wish they would like put those out now for like the past houses. I know they probably haven't recorded them all, but
And then you'd have people like me tripping over in fright, falling on things.
It's fine. You're in your own home. It's fine.
You've signed the
I
waiver.
fell flat on my back in the Yeti house.
Oh, that's because it's so awesome. And that was last
So
year,
good.
Gillian. I hate to break it to you.
Oh, you're right.
Sorry, I do that all the time. But yeah, because he was amazing. That's why.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Ugh.
Yes.
Well, let's get off that. Let's get to something a little bit more positive. Let's talk about which Lou gets your poo.
Hello, UUOP fans. Hey, this is Brian calling in from the Hogsmeade restrooms, or loo, and my edition of Which Lou Gets Your Poo. Just finished up pertinent business, and I gotta say, while I admire the number of stalls and everything at New York behind Jimmy Fallon, nothing beats the atmosphere of the Hogsmeade loo. With Myrtle serenading you, trying to entice you here. So anyway, I'm going to flush myself out and hope you all enjoy. That's just my vote for Which Lou Gets Your Poo. Cheers, mates.
Awesome.
That's, I think, no offense to anyone else, I think that's the best one we've had so far. They did actually record it in the loo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, someone's going to send a video recording, so you watch.
You have possibly one from me that is also a live recording.
Spoilers, Gillian.
I'm sorry.
I do have it. But I haven't listened to it yet.
The Moaning Myrtle bathrooms, they're a close second for me, but they always stink so bad. I don't know why.
That's authentic
Is it
British.
fish?
They're the smelliest
Probably
bathrooms.
the shower.
It's Myrtle.
It's what all British bathrooms smell like.
Well, in fairness, like you walk into the Three Broomsticks and it stinks of fish.
Hang on, I've got a very important question. Gillian, are you actually going into the ladies?
Yes,
Okay.
I think.
Men's always stink.
How the hell do you know?
I've been in enough men's toilets. I'm not shy. If I need to go and the
Let's
queue's too long
just
for the ladies, I
leave
go in the
that
men's.
there, Chris, please move us
I've
on.
always heard
I've seen a urinal before.
women's restrooms are horror stories.
Yeah, but they always have a couch in there.
What?
That is
Yeah.
true.
I'm
but
definitely always
Not in the
going to the
park.
men's then.
That
I'm not
couch
a
has been
part.
in the bathroom for
Yeah.
years.
Gillian,
All right.
do your bathrooms in the park have a 3-inch gap all the way around them, or is that just the men's?
Excuse me, hello, I'm here.
Well, she's
I can
supposed to
answer
make
that
friends.
question as well.
Sorry, Tracy.
Dave,
I'm trying to involve our guest.
that's okay.
Yeah,
Also
you can always
useful.
say hi to everybody who's waiting in line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I
US
find that
feature.
Little
great.
wave.
I don't understand that.
Make direct eye contact.
that's how you make friends. You don't have to ask if anybody's in there. You just look.
And the bottom of the door is always like halfway up your knees.
So small
I don't get
small
it.
children can
Like,
get
who
in.
needs
You
Yeah,
gotta be high enough
A
to
little
allow
kids
a
can
child to crawl through. Yeah.
Jeremiah is suggesting Morning Myrtle bathroom candles.
No. No.
When you light them, they just start playing. Oh, thank you for lighting this candle.
Hello, Harry.
Well, Please let us know your favorite Universal Studios Florida or Islands of Adventure bathroom by recording a message and sending it to us at podcasts@uuopodcast.com. And we'll air it at some point. All right.
then-
Well,
Yeah,
let's
yes.
go get refills.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffula Trees in Seuss Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than wands and potions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse and Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs, earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a You Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse and Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rated customer service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a no-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you want to go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
Welcome back, everybody. All right. So, everybody's nice and loaded up again. Tracy, spew me.
Spew you. All right. Well, this one is from Matt N. Oh, he must be special if he only goes by N for his surname. He's an agent, isn't he?
No, because he
No.
would just be N.
Oh, okay. It might just be slightly in disguise. So this spew isn't exactly mine to tell, but it was just too awesome not to share. My wife and I recently visited the parks, my first trip since Hagrid opened. The ride had a late opening on our only day at Iowa, but to our surprise, we got to ride it a few times during our visit. We'd just gotten off the ride for our third time, the sun was setting, smiles on our faces in excitement. We raced back to the entrance to ride it a fourth time, but the inevitable happened. At capacity. Team members were informing guests of the disappointing news as we stood there, spending a few moments to take in our excitement, slightly disappointed we wouldn't get a night ride this trip. With a few hours left in the park, we decided to go enjoy the park's other attractions when we heard, "Do you want to ride?" Sounds a bit dodgy actually, that doesn't it? I look over and a boy about 12 nods his head in excitement. "Let's go," the team member said. The boy was pushing his wheelchair, following the lead of the team member who was personally taking his family to ride the at-capacity coaster. I just know that experience made that kid's day. I bet he had a blast, especially since it was getting dark.
Awesome.
Oh, that is so nice. And he would have done. In the dark's amazing.
It is.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Except your first ride when you get off it feeling ill. Isn't that right, Gillian?
Oh, poor Lee. I'm so sorry for you.
And you meet someone for the first time and you're like, I'm going to throw up.
That would have been very memorable.
Yeah,
That
it
would have been a
would've been.
spew for the books.
That's Lee's reaction to meeting most
Hey.
people.
No, it's not.
So they saw me the first time, you said the same thing.
I was very
I'm gonna
nervous
throw up.
actually meeting you the first time.
Aw.
Actually, I think you might have actually said I'm going to throw up.
Probably.
Might have been the first thing you said.
Nice. I think that's the first thing he said to me as well.
No, I did not. Let's not get that. What? And anyway,
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know. But no, thank you, Matt. That was a really nice
Yeah.
spew. Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes. Very
And if you had a Universal Orlando team member make your trip extra special, jot it down in an email and send it to us at podcasts@uuopodcast.com. And we will also share those on the show.
Yes, think hard. We got to have a lot of stuff like that during these times. So
yes.
thinking the last time you went to Universal, something good happened with a team member. Maybe you don't remember their name or whatever. Just still send it to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah, shine a light. Q. All right, let's go back to our favorite topic to discuss, Darren. So now let's talk about some Horror Nights speculation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that.
This seems so random after
Um,
we've literally just gone. It's probably not going ahead, but
I know, I
anyway.
was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That's why I kind of wanted to get it out of the way, and I asked, "Am I doing it now or then or what?" Because I'm gonna have to eventually say it sometime.
It's
without
done. So right,
going
let's
through all
just
this. But
treat it at
yes.
this point like it is going ahead,
Yeah.
and this is
It's a speculation map for Horror Nights 20/21. Who knows?
20. Oh, yeah. You mean 31?
30.
Like 20.
2021. Yeah,
I'm with it.
yes.
Yeah, with you.
Yes. Well, Horror Night Nightmares did put out their spec map, and if you know historically, for the most part, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
The first map does tend to have revisions. Expect that because, especially this year, things are totally up in the air as far as it goes. But the lineup that they have here kind of makes sense if they wanted to go like less gory, a little bit more lighthearted as far as things could possibly be. And I'm sure all of these weren't the original plans, is what I'll say. And possibly might not be the ones at the end either. Like I said, these things are constantly in flux. But as far as it goes, we'll just list them off. This is going to be like map style. So we're going around starting at like the Rip Ride Rocket behind there. I heard Soundstage 25 will not be used this year. So it'll probably be 24 or 27 that are right next over to the other side, 28.
Okay.
So anyways, that would be one I'm really excited for. Beetlejuice.
Woo!
Yes.
I've wanted Beetlejuice for years.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. The sets, if they do have to do like a set heavy event this year with less scare actors and that kind of thing, Beetlejuice lends itself perfectly to that.
Yeah.
Get over here, brother.
Yeah. If you liked Ghostbusters last year, I'd say it would be along that same vein, but even more so like geared for the season.
Yeah.
More appropriate anyways. So
Can I just jump in? Because I've just had a thought of something that would be awesome. So you know they like to use that way. The floor is actually a mirror, and the scene's up on the ceiling, so you get that.
Oh yeah,
that deep effect. Imagine the map, the 3D map, of the town that he's made. That's in the attic, done that way. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I want that now.
Yeah, definitely. And then just how the sets are done. I know there's a lot of talent in Universal that sculpts and does work for Universal, and they are very much geared towards Beetlejuice. So this is very, very possible for them to put together and have very awesome set pieces for. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, lot of material to be used there. A lot of scenes you can use, and of course, what's going to be the final song as you're walking out?
Sansa.
Oh yeah.
Songs.
Great dance too. You do perform it like 6 feet apart. So it's perfect.
Yeah, brilliant.
The thing is, it'd be like the end of the Killer Clown's house, where you just come out singing the Killer Clown song at the end of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite, and like I said, those like larger than life set pieces would, I think, lend very well to this year for sure. Up next was Universal Monsters: The Bride.
I don't think this is a surprise.
No, I don't.
Yeah, she didn't really get a lot of play in the house last year, the Universal Monsters house, and there was kind of a feeling that it was on purpose.
Was she even in
something
it?
else was coming? Yeah, she made a couple of appearances.
Oh, yes, right at the end.
Frankenstein's monster
she was
towards the end.
Sexy. She was the one that we got told had the speaker on her chest.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
Right. So
yeah.
So yeah,
Not a
we'll
huge
carry
fan of
over.
Bride.
The monsters didn't do it for me last year, so I wouldn't be particularly excited about them doing it this year.
No. And the bride is just she's a silent character and very, I don't know, very interesting to work with. We'll see. We'll see how that one would go. But they're Universal, so they kind of have the source material down.
This would lean on the back of them, this rumored land in Epic Universe as well. It's just bringing the bride into the fore a little bit more as well, and just putting people in the front of people's consciousness.
Working on that synergy.
Yep,
definitely. Maybe a nice little place to prototype some stuff as well. And then up next, bedtime stories, which would be an original house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm down for that one.
This is the one I was most excited about last year when it was the Tooth Fairy house, and then they scrubbed it, and I was super bummed.
Yeah, it does seem like this is like along that same series that they were intending, like the fairy tale kind of series. So, I think it's a really open concept, and they can do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Along the lines of like Scary Tales from 28, which I'm gutted we didn't get to see because everyone said it was really great.
So it's going to be
Yeah.
kind of like the stories that parents tell the kids to make them stay in bed.
Yeah.
So they don't dare put the
Yeah.
foot out of the bed. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Another one I could see some like big set pieces being used, like like walking under the bed.
Oh, yeah.
to go
Yeah.
to the next scene and that kind of stuff. So that'd be interesting. The next one is like something everybody was really hyped about. I don't know. I didn't go this year, so it's like one of those few years I missed. But the Terror Queen. This is one of yours, Lee, right?
No,
You
it was 15. It was the year
Oh,
after
that's
we
right.
went. I tell you what, I've seen some pictures of this woman. She's a busty young lady.
Not that you were looking, of course.
You couldn't help it in the pictures I saw. I swear to God, they were up front and centre.
Got a huge God's pocket.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
They
I
just
have.
modified. Yeah, they modified her costume, and now it's just the Mardi Gras outfits with Stillwaters.
Jillian, just look up
Essentially.
Terror Queen, and the first thing on there
I
is
am.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hang on a minute. I need to look now.
Boobs, anyone?
Oh, ladies.
Obviously, a fan favorite for some reason, for a reason or two.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'll say.
last year it was the all the guys, right? What was that house name?
Jesus
Can't remember.
Christ.
Tracy's favorite.
All the guys.
That is not attractive.
That looks all right to me. I mean,
It would.
anyway.
Whoa.
Cup runneth over.
Looks painful.
Beauty is
Contour.
The
painful,
Terror
dear.
Queen exacts her revenge for years of back pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these
Um,
vines? Are they supposed to be vines?
Yes, she is like an earth like tree queen kind of thing. She kind of fit in with the Islands of Adventure years of the event, so they kind of wanted to theme her towards like a more natural environment. Kind
Those
of thing.
boobs don't look natural.
No, definitely not.
Beat me to it.
Icon, maybe?
Maybe.
Could be. People would not be opposed to it.
Get these
Not for-
boobs off of the flyers.
Nah.
Isn't the icon
Hey,
going
I
to be
guess if
Rona?
you're not going to go for horror, you got to go for something else. But yeah, it would be a throwback to those years. I would be interested in seeing it because I didn't see the house or the events that year. So yeah, Terra Cruentus is the
Yes.
potential name of the house.
Hmm.
I'll be down.
Yes. And here's the next one that is tearing the theme park community apart.
COVID-19. It's just people lined up on the street coughing on you.
A house not to be sneezed at.
That sounds a lot like a scare zone, I think.
Yeah. This would be going in the same place as the Rob Zombie house, our House of a Thousand Corpses, I should say. I call it the Rob Zombie house. I feel bad.
That's
feel bad
true.
for that. Sorry. The Billie Eilish house.
She's a bad guy.
She's a bad guy.
No, I invite
Duh.
I like
Yeah.
Billie Eilish. I'd be.
Me too. I think the imagery
Yeah.
in her videos is really
Yep.
cool.
Not
so-
in a house, though. How does that work? No.
See, I don't like her music. I think it's blah.
Oh,
but I
Chris,
think it
get
works
off.
for Horror Nights.
Some of it works for
Yes,
horror.
some
Yeah.
of it.
Well, from what I've heard, it's
I
like
don't-
this dark, whispery kind of monotone-ish. I don't know.
I haven't listened to it.
I really like her.
Especially after last year, I see it more as a scare zone. I don't really
Yeah.
see how it translates into a house.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be more like
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie. Yeah,
But
Rob
Darren,
Black.
you originally told us like you'd heard this was going to be part of the Lagoon Show, which made much more sense.
Yeah, that was the original speculation for that. But maybe they're thinking if they don't have time to work that Lagoon show, because that, I mean, if they're still working in a Lagoon show for this year, but maybe they say, oh, let's do Marathon of Mayhem again this year.
Yeah.
You know, people liked it, update it a little bit, you know, do some things here and there, and then save that kind of thing for next year if they didn't have time to set it up or whatever.
Yeah.
which really would not bode well for the house as far as that goes. But what is this anyways? It's a good question. There's only a couple videos that she has that are really themed, I would say, to like that would work at a Horror Nights angle. It feels to me like it would suit Hollywood a lot more for a house. Being that I just don't see them like being able to come up with, like a fully enclosed, like 4-wall environments based on this.
No, I agree.
Yeah, Hollywood uses a lot of black walls and stuff like that, like no transitions and stuff like that. Projections, maybe, like, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Definitely a weird one. Does not really make sense, but
yeah. So again, like some of these possibly be red herrings too. You never know. So yeah. So the I guess speculation wise, from sources, I'll say, that like 50-50 wise, like Beetlejuice, Billie Eilish are like the 50-50 ones, I guess. But I don't know. I hope Beetlejuice would go through. It just
me too.
makes sense. They own it. They have worked with it before. They've got the uniform, the outfits for it for sure. And the cast. Yeah. Then going back real quick too, the bedtime stories they said is basically the Tooth Fairy house that was canceled in favor of Us. So like a mashup of that kind of thing, like different bedtime stories with the Tooth Fairy included in it. So
because we heard that Tooth Fairy house last night was cancelled at the last minute. Did I say last night?
You did.
Last year. That they'd even cast all the actresses for it, and they were all like short women. So when it got cancelled, they kind of struggled to distribute those scare actors about because they were so small.
Yeah, and then that was going to have like possibly the storyteller icon be involved or like hinted at least maybe possibility for like next year being an icon is from what I heard. And then the Terror Queen thing, it would be cool if they do it because that's right. It did all the marketing and everything around it, and the storyline said that in 15 years she would return, and this is the 15 years from that point. So,
She's a cicada. Got it.
Yeah,
a big boobed cicada. Because that's what they all look like.
Do they? I need to see more of them.
Why do you think they're singing so loud? They're proud of it.
In cicada language, it's "look at my boobs."
The little lisp on the end.
Yeah.
And then next, real quick, Dungeon of Terror. That was from the first and second year of Horror Nights.
Yeah.
It was the only house that year, those years. Well, actually, second year is when they introduced people under the stairs as well. But for the first year, that was the only house. It's literally what it sounds like. It was a dungeon theme, very like medieval. You can see videos on YouTube of this if you watch any of like the making of Horror Nights, the original stories or anything like that. I think Expedition Theme Park and a couple of other folks have done some videos about it. Okay. They had some interesting concepts. Like you walked across plexiglass. This is the first appearance of the Rat Woman.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, because she was on the ground. And then her like coffin area would light up, and then all the rats would like scatter around her when it would light up. I don't think they'll do that exactly again, but they'll come up with concepts like that because that really spooked the rats and it was hot.
Yeah, you'll be in a plexiglass box moving through to keep you 6 feet apart from the person in front and behind.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your possibility.
Or they'll bring back House of 1,000 Corpses from last year, and you'll actually do the dark ride at the beginning, but you're going to be one person
there you go.
per car.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm down.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this would be an awesome throwback to the original, like a little homage, to that. And we'd obviously expect it to be updated for modern times. So
because I know, I wrote a blog post on this map yesterday. Shut your face.
Which look at your poo.
And I know they redid it as well in. I think it was. You laugh it up, Mrs. I think it was Horror Nights 4 where they did Dungeon of Terror Retold, which was the storyteller as well. So it wouldn't be the first time they've brought it back like after that original run as well. So makes sense.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. The next one I am really interested in. I think it would make for a really good house, especially again considering the time. And if you don't want it to get like too overly gory, and you would kind of want to go down the evil Satan-y route instead, we have the chilling adventures of Sabrina.
You say not gory. I think Sabrina's darker than I think a lot of people realize it is.
Yeah.
But I think you can do it not gory, not as
Well,
gory.
you could, yeah.
This is the original one, right?
No,
No.
Aw.
Chilling
no,
Adventures.
the chilling adventures of Sabrina from Netflix. It's
awesome.
better. Sabrina the Teenage Witch would not make for a good house.
I don't know. That
I
cat was
would do
pretty
that.
bloody scary.
Chris, is that what you thought?
No, I was being sarcastic,
You
but
just walk into the house and it's just a Salem puppet there.
it's just a Salem cat.
Yeah.
Just a Melissa Joan Hart mashup house with Clarissa Tells It All.
You climb in through the window. Perfect.
I like it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this would be awesome because
Yeah.
we're big fans of the TV series.
Yeah.
And I think because we kind of heard it was going to be there last year. So with that in mind, watching season 2, you watch it very differently, thinking, oh yeah, that'd work quite well. That'd work quite well. And I think it would lend itself to a Horror Nights house very well.
Yeah. They currently do have it in the Sprung tent. I feel like personally the sets and stuff in the show would lend themselves better to a soundstage.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I would like to see them do it like more justice in one of those, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the Dungeon of Terror and Sabrina are both listed as being the Sprung tent houses.
Okay.
So moving along that way again, coming up to the first parade house, that would be Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
So you see,
I haven't really watched it.
I don't see how this works as a house.
What?
I can't get my head into it.
There's not much to it.
No. That was what I was. It was more like shadows and.
Using characters from the show, like obviously the bent neck lady and what was that giant tall one with the top hat?
Oh, I think he was called Tall Man with Top Hat.
I don't
Based on
even
the other naming
remember
convention
that.
of Bent Neck Lady.
Very true. I don't know. I think some of them
Slender
from like
Man?
a creepy perspective.
Yeah. There's location-wise, there's not a lot to it, and that's what I always look at for a Horror Nights house is varying locations, and it doesn't really have
Yeah,
it.
you got the house itself and
Yeah.
the
The
mortuary
basement
side of it, and
yeah, and there's not a there's not. I
Not
suppose
all
you could
memorable locations is what you're saying.
I suppose
Right.
you could do
Yeah. I agree
the
with you on that.
like the DOS house that the brother's staying in, I
Yeah.
suppose, but it wouldn't be very varied. But in fairness, they've done Exorcist before, which is literally confined to one room for virtually the entire
Yeah.
film. So who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. Does this lend itself? I guess it would. In the same way that The Exorcist, like they kind of just like broke it out and like took the elements and, made them pieces, made it more abstract.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They would probably have to go that route with Hill House as well, just focusing, like Chris said, on those specific, ghosts.
yeah. And we're
So,
always
yeah.
happy to be pleasantly surprised. So yeah. Or unpleasantly
Definitely.
surprised.
Ah.
Yes, and the next one kind of brings together a ton of lore from Horror Nights of years past, and that's Legendary Truth, Cary, Ohio. This kind of opens it up for Legendary Truth first and foremost.
Yes.
Their paranormal investigation unit, and on top of that, bringing it to Cary, Ohio, which is the source of a lot of the storylines, places, locations, Shady Brook Asylum, the factors that have hit on Horror Nights in previous years have all been like, originally from Cary, Ohio.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because they are a real city in Ohio that Laura Wallace comes from, show director.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they kind of have a love-hate relationship with it. It seems more like love. They're very polite on Facebook because every time they post like a community bulletin, people will be like, "Oh no, how's the sanitarium doing?" and like stuff like that. They'll be like, "Oh, haha, it's fine here." Yes. But yeah, so they know about it there at least.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. But yeah, a lot of that, and some of my favorite houses, including my favorite house of all time, was a Cary, Ohio house with Shady Brook, Home for the Holidays. So Yeah, I could see elements of all those different houses coming together and forming something pretty amazing as far as that goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Does the upgrade repository house that from a couple of years ago, how does that feed into this? That was a Legendary Truth house.
Yes, that was Legendary Truth. So that paranormal investigation, like the first 2 rooms that you were in, where they were kind of explaining to you how it worked. It was part of like an ARG game that they would do for the website for years and years, and it would actually culminate with real nights in the park for people that were like annual pass holders and stuff back then. There's obviously a lot fewer of them, so they were able to get a lot more involved as far as it went. But a lot of the creative team still have a deep passion for it, and they'll talk about it, like crazy as soon as they get the opportunity to. So they want to bring this back. It's just hard to do with so many fans. Everybody wants the opportunity to do it, and they were like really creative, like interactive things, like RFID enabled locations around the park. You'd go into like full sets they had designed, and you'd have to go through and investigate and find clues and that kind of thing in there, like kind of an escape room. A lot of different elements that went in there. So, yeah, so it's neat that they, take both of those like fan favorite fan service ideas and put that out as a house.
Yeah.
Well, I like the repository. I think I'm one of the only people who did, but
yeah. Other than the VR, I thought it was excellent. I really did. The VR itself obviously needed some work. It was unsettling, that's for sure, especially the VR part, because I had no idea what was going on or what to do. But yeah, the way the actors were like one-on-one with you, like really in your face and that kind of stuff, and then how they stuck to the original storyline as well. Just went to show you that the creative team is still very much into it. So.
I think it's very telling that you haven't seen it since, though.
Yeah.
Or even any
like I said,
it's
been what was that? Was it 25?
26 or 27, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. So that's when they did the they had the sets all put up and everything. But before that, it was like 5 years before that they had like a really like elaborate version of it. And it just goes back and forth between like creative mostly owning things and then marketing taking over and saying, no, we don't really need to do that part. And then, it's obviously a creative endeavor to want to do something like that and put those ARGs and extra stuff on the website.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it'd be awesome. You could throw in a lot of elements from a lot of houses and just like get all your fan service in one.
Which you need, because I know 30, I know, Darren, you think 30 is not a massive year, and I've kind of come round to the idea that it isn't at this point. But it's still a celebration year, and I think to do something looking back at the history and kind of and put it into one house, like Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters of Mayhem, kind of, I think works really well. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, another one I'm really excited about. I don't know how they do it.
Nope.
It'll be a tricky one, but if they can pull it off, it's Gremlins.
Can't wait.
I mean, if they can, it needs to be puppets. There's a hell of a lot of puppets to make it work, but if they can make it work, it could be awesome.
Oh, it could be so much fun.
It'd be like the Krampus house from that year too. It's like it's Christmas themed.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Love it. I bet this goes in the same spot, Shrek location.
Yep. Yeah.
Wait, is that where it is on the map?
Yep. Oh well.
I've heard
Jay. Actually, no. This is the.
This where
there's another interesting one. It's at Cafe La Bamba.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
I've heard so I can't remember who it was I was talking to said that they're not using Shrek this year, and like you said there, Darren, the rumor was that this one would be around Cafe La Bamba. I don't see how that works, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't really know how that is set up to work that way. Maybe if you want to have it like wind outside through like the Cafe La Bamba. I mean, like not the Cafe La Bamba, the
Gardens of Allah.
Yeah, Gardens of Allah area, and like go around backstage and come back. Maybe they could do like a Hollywood style outdoor house.
You say the Gardens of Zavala?
No, that works. Hey, that's awesome.
That's what I heard.
I was thinking though, the little ones from Killer Clowns, those little tiny like worm clown things that they had.
Yeah, the clown
Mhm.
babies.
That's a pretty good proof of concept to like just hang the rest of like the puppet on that, you know,
Yeah.
like a gremlin puppet, because you only need a couple to be like really like advanced.
True.
Those
Yeah.
ones would be able to move their mouth and, you know, have some limited motion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Also, you could use less actors and not have them in people's faces for
Yep.
that one as
Uh-huh.
well. So another one that works with the theme.
They're kind of like the Dementors in Forbidden Journey. You put a load in the back that don't need to be super detailed, but as long as you've got a couple in the front that are.
Yeah.
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 And then take all those, like I said, all those scare actors that you would normally, you know, be using in the front of the house and make them puppeteers, teach them how to do that.
Yeah.
And then you have tons and tons of
Yeah.
gremlins. So
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting when you look at it and you delve into this a little bit, how much some of these lend themselves to being houses taking into consideration not putting people in people's faces.
yeah.
There's a lot of potential for puppets or not
Mhm.
necessarily scare actors.
Mm-hmm.
And put
So-
mask on the puppets.
Yeah. All the puppets are slathered in hand sanitizer, we promise.
But everybody likes gremlins, don't they?
Yeah, who doesn't? Anyone who
Yeah.
grew up in the 80s, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
So
So yeah. Happy
yeah,
days
then
gone.
no idea on the scare zones or anything. So
No.
No news yet.
But again, it's in those notes. I know I kind of changed it, but I was talking to someone, and the 50-50 on Beetlejuice and Billie Eilish, whether they'll be there or not, but they're also 50-50 on if they are there, whether there'll be a house or a scare zone.
Right. Okay.
Because the initial rumours of Beetlejuice were that it was going to be a scare zone, not a house.
Which I think would be
Hmm.
better house.
And yeah,
like, you get 2 years out of it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Okay, yeah, make it scare zone then.
and then Billie Eilish, the same thing, potentially a scare zone, which again would lean off the back of doing something like Rob Zombie's Hellbilly
Which I
Deluxe
think
from last
that would
year.
work better. Well, you could have like little impromptu dance parties and
I
stuff.
still don't see how it works either way. I don't. When you look at how cool
She's an artist under their label.
she
the
is,
big
but
name.
it's not. And I said this in the blog post. I don't know whether it's me delving into things too much, but Bury a Friend was part of the soundtrack for Academy of Villains last year.
Very true, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I said in a reply to somebody else that usually when they do things like this, like a big thing, it's not for their past stuff that they've already
Yes.
done. It's for something that's coming out.
Yeah.
But I was looking up her new albums, and it's kind of hit and miss that she said she may be doing one later in the year, but there's nothing officially planned at this point.
Well, surprise albums are a thing. So,
True.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. And I could see her like putting out a Halloween themed
Yeah.
album,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
without
know,
a
a
doubt.
darker album around
Yeah.
the Halloween times just to do. She's
Darker.
yeah.
Look, I
Can
know.
you get
very-
much darker?
Billie Eilish covering all the Halloween songs.
Like, I love Billie Eilish, and I
Yeah.
know like Jade got me into her, and I've listened to her a ton, and I never thought I would get into something like that. But I'd be happy, but I don't see how it works at Horror Nights as of what we know about her right now. Anyway,
I am
Or even in the same
Open-minded.
context as Rob Zombie.
yeah, it's nowhere near.
So yeah, there you go. That's your
Um,
potential list.
There's been a lot of complaints. I've posted it a lot on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram, and there's a lot of people like, yeah, I'll be down with that. And then a lot of other people are like, if this is Horror Nights for this year, I ain't going.
well, you might have to
Yeah.
go on anyway. Let's think if
Personally, I'd be all right with it.
I'd be alright with that. But do you know what? I think this year we take what we're given.
Well,
we
without
do
a doubt.
anyway, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Like I've always said, I don't care what's at the event as long as I'm there.
Yeah.
True. And I am not one that usually has seen a ton of the IPs or, prior to going. Usually I try to catch up on what I can, but, Beetlejuice and Gremlins for me are two huge ones. So
Yeah.
I'd be very excited about that.
Yeah.
But it does seem, I know Darren and I chatted about it a little bit, that it does seem, if you go by that, it's definitely stepping away from the horror elements more than it
Yeah.
has done.
It's got a bit more
And
family
I know
friendly.
a lot of, not, I wouldn't necessarily say family friendly, but not gore. There's not a lot of gore in it. It's very,
Which makes sense because in previous years when tough times are happening, they have lightened up on it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
See what's going to happen with things like chainsaw hordes and stuff like that if we've still got some limitations in place.
Well, they won't have chainsaws. They'll have hankies, and just like Gillian said, they'll just be running after you, coughing.
Long pokey sticks.
So instead of run, run, you'll get, which would be way more scary. It'd be way more scarier than a chainsaw at that point.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'll
yes.
see me running.
Sneezes and spray bottles.
Yeah.
I've just got back from China.
Spray this year. It's Purell.
Yeah, sorry, I definitely understand how Horror Nights work and how Horror Events works, but if anybody tries to play that this year, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just happening. I'm sorry.
We'll do a group punch.
I've had some of your punch, Chris. It was very strong.
Me too.
Well, it'll knock you out for sure.
Mine kept evaporating. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Cool.
All right.
And I am still officially on board. It is happening until they tell me otherwise.
Well, exactly.
Me too.
No, just fly down here and hang out with me and Darren.
All right, yeah, I'm making special T-shirts for it, so buy one for me. From me, $30 each.
What do they say on them, Darren?
I wasn't there. It's like the WrestleMania ones.
All right. I think that is going to wrap up the show today. And we're going to end with another Universal Is. And this one is from Benny Batgay.
Again. But he sent this in today or
Aye.
yesterday, and he said, you have to use this one on your 9th anniversary show. So I was like, okay, fair enough.
That's only if he's still in the chat. If he's not there, I'm just not going to say it. So yeah, if you would like to be involved, just send us your answer to what Universal is in 3 words or less and send it to podcast@uuopodcast.com. And Benny says, Universal is live the adventure. See you next week.
Cut, print, that's a wrap for another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.